Here we go. What do you need?
Check 53 is mine.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. 25.
Now the first carry for Bryce Love, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Here we go.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long?
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic.
Hey, Echo. You got to bring it.
Let's go. Hey, we got
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Now Garoppolo lost the football. It's going the other way. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line.
Well, that's the down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him. Sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did. Yet the pressure was still there and ended up coughing it up.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Looking to throw. Herbert. This is caught. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Robert Foster, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Sponge. 21.
A quick throw out wide, caught by Robinson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
53, Mike. Bandit.
Play action, Garoppolo. Throwing left side, it's complete. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. On play action, now Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Here we go.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Check. Lucky.
12, fellas. Here we go.
Check.
13.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. They run on 1st down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop. A little more room here on 2nd and 6 from the 6. Now Saquon Barkley. He'll have a 1st down and more past the 20. And finally taken down at the 15. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 79 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Second and 3. And it's caught. Touchdown. Jay Sternberger, his 1st touchdown on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the 1st half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Garoppolo of the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. On the run, he'll let this go deep right. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off at the 22. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open, otherwise just don't do it.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Saquon Barkley hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Here
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Throwing now is Garoppolo. And he comes back with one complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
2nd down pass play got him 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. He's going deep for Brown. It's caught at the 10. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Marquise Brown, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Gostkowski with the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. They will run with Grant. Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Let's go. 50, play.
Go. First down, London.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. It's Barkley on the counter as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. This is Grant. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They run the counter. Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
On the ready.
7th play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8.
Bravo.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Back to throw. Herbert. The pass complete. It's Bird. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
Check 31, check 31.
Hey, team 6, team 6.
From the gun, Herbert. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Robert Foster, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Here's a 2nd and 7. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The Clemson Tiger, Vic Beasley, reaches home that time. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Ready? 70, Indy. Smooth. 2.
Looking to throw. Herbert. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. The kick by Maher is good. And that will extend their lead even further. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean? Break out that just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Here we go.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out.
Now Garoppolo lost the football. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And you have to figure they won't just sit on the football here in the final minute. The way things have gone, they need to try to make something happen offensively.
But maybe they should. Maybe they should.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. And the pressure gets to him again. Frank Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively,
Here we go.
I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
So the sack of Garoppolo. And now what can they come up with on 3rd and long?
32, 2. White.
Garoppolo, a final shot here before half. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 49. Back to throw. Herbert. Now he'll let this one go deep right side. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They run the counter. Barkley. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And he's got his man on the out route. 18 yards and a 1st down.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Mike 57. Ready?
Looking to throw. Herbert. Pass hauled in by the 6'4" tight end Sternberger. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Jay Sternberger with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
21. Hey, 7.
On 1st down, Garoppolo. He's going deep for Brown. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Hollywood Marquise Brown with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Broncos cut into that lead. Extra point good by Gostkowski. And the lead is down to 24. This is taken at the 3. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On first down, Herbert steps away to his left. That is incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
On second down, here's Barkley. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite an excellent display of footwork. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Mike 57.
Hey, QB's trash. Let's go.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out.
On third down, Herbert. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Reuben Foster, the former national champion at Alabama, gets in for the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they begin this drive in very precarious field position inside their own 5.
And remember, this is a defense that's already scored once in this game, so you've got to really take care and make sure that you're blocking these guys to try and wedge the ball out from the shadow of your own end zone. Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
11. Go.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48, and a return of 8. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 21 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. And to give this time to the tailback. In on the stop, the safety, Troy Apke.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And this offense on third down today, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
He don't want it. 56. Mike, go.
Operating from the gun. Herbert. And that is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The kick by Marr is good. And that'll push the lead from 24 up to 27. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Garoppolo now, first down throw. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Garoppolo. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And now off to the races down the right side. And it's a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
You mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
This fielded at the 2. And now look at him go. The 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. That kick return TD is 98 yards in length. And the Broncos get one score closer. Gostkowski the extra point as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. But I think the Broncos have it. They do. Great job by the kick team there to get the football, but also don't forget about the man that started it, the lonesome kicker himself.
I love that you brought him into it because he doesn't get nearly the attention he deserves. Oftentimes it's only when it's negative. In this case, he created a positive play for his team.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Here we go.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Garoppolo. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Alert three.
I got you.
On third and long, it's Garoppolo. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a fourth down situation.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down.
Check flag 33. Let's put him on the buses.
Hey, gun.
Garoppolo going to go on fourth down. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on fourth. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal.
12.
On first down, here's Love. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Here we go. Like 20.
From the 2 now, second and goal.
12, fellas. Here we go.
Gonna give it to Love. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Bryce Love, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos get a bit closer.
And Brad, I think we have to look back at the big call to go for it on fourth down.
Yeah, that set up everything, and the end result, the short touchdown run. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think every coach would have gone for it back there.
You and I both know every coach would not have gone for it back there. So that's showing a little bit of faith, actually showing a lot of faith in his team, and it was rewarded.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this one won't bounce their way. It's covered up by the hands team. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And a nice carry there of 15 yards. They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. They'll try the right side here. Barkley. He's got the first down inside the 10. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, first and goal.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They've got a second and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
70, Indy. 61, matchbox light.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
Yes, yes.
Stay at home, stay at home. 57.
Hey, Alpha.
57.
Sleep rip.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Flush to his right. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Marr now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
At their own 31-yard line.
Here we go.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided? And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. He's picked off at his own 47. And this will be a touchdown.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked off that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
that's all.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Garoppolo looks to throw. This is caught by Robinson. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Here we go.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game.
52. So don't say nothing. Hey, wahoo! I got you.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
Garoppolo to throw for it on 4th. And Robinson with a big catch. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Here we go.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
Hey, alert! 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 Hey, Echo!
33, check Mike 33.
They'll go for it. It's Garoppolo. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 21. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row.